Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Banter Club Wrestling um, podcast. Um, Subscribe to the channel. Let's go straight to the point. WrestleMania 1. Let's start from WrestleMania Night 1. It started, I think everybody thought WrestleMania was going to be cancelled. Everyone thought it was going to be postponed to Sunday. But, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, being Vincent Kennedy McMahon, decided to hold up, came up with the wrestlers, and welcomed everyone to WrestleMania with fans for the first time in, I think it's more than a year. 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day. Exactly on Saturday night one. The weather was reported to we're having thunderstorms and lightning and stuff. The government had to shut stuff down. Raymond James Stadium announced that everyone should take shelter. By then, I think when the thunderstorms gathered, and you could see that this is really gonna be bad. Everybody was taking their seats at Raymond James Stadium. WrestleMania was about to kick off. I think it was about 2 hours to kick off. Then the thunderstorm started. The stadium PR announced that everybody should take shelter within the stadium. So WrestleMania had to be on hold. Everyone was clinging onto their straws because we all didn't know what was going on, except those that were in Raymond James Stadium, of course. News broke that the weather calmed down and people were being ushered in again. So, the show should go on. Vincent Kennedy brought out the wrestlers, ushered in WrestleMania more than a year with fans, and it was all going smoothly. Then, all of a sudden, the intro and all that stuff, WWE intro. WWE changed their intro, by the way, if you didn't know. This one had Bailey, Ding Dong, and all that. It has some voiceovers of Roman Reigns and stuff. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so Michael Cole and Samoa Joe was on commentary, and for some reason nobody heard what they were saying on TV, by the way, because obviously the rain has fucked up their equipment. Then all of a sudden WrestleMania was gonna start. We're all excited. Then all of a sudden, bam, we hear the PR systems telling everyone to seek shelter again because the thunderstorm has gathered, and we are going to have a part 2 of all that mess. It was really frustrating, by the way. Long story short, the thunderstorm was over and WrestleMania went on. The show went on, and everyone thought the show was gonna be dull because of how the circumstances that we saw WrestleMania to be in. But all the same, Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley kicked off WrestleMania in a very good match. I wouldn't say it was over the top. It was a very good match. I would say a B, the B plus match, and Bobby Lashley retained. Long story short, Bobby Lashley retained, and I don't know if that was the right call. Both of them had cheers and both of them had boos. There wasn't one that was really hated or hated by the crowd and booed throughout the match. Everyone had their moments of boos, and everyone had their moments of cheers and all that. So Bobby Lashley retained with the headlock, which that finisher has been built to be a monster. Nobody has kicked out of that finisher, the headlock. But all the same, he retained the title and the head business. Raw after WrestleMania is going to be interesting because I want to know where this head business angle is going, because I don't think WWE has break them up. I think there's an angle there. I think there's an angle that's going to be exposed. But all the same, the women's turmoil match was one of the worst in WrestleMania history. They shouldn't have let that match go on at WrestleMania. It should have been on the kickoff show. The booking was terrible. No one wanna see Tamina Snuka and Natalia face Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler should not be in that conversation. Shayna Baszler is a former MMA elite athlete, and she's a very good wrestler too. She should not be in that circle. And I don't know how people are going to receive that match exactly in night 2 of WrestleMania on Sunday. But all the same, that match was booked really bad. I mean, those that won shouldn't have won. I get that you've been pushing Natalia and Tamina over the past weeks with the new look and the new gimmick and all that, but come on, nobody want to see that match. So that match, Natalia and Tamina won, as I said. Lana and Naomi were the first to be eliminated, which I found it very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. I didn't really like that booking, but all the same. Um, After that, we had Cesaro, then Seth Rollins, which was a banger because these two guys are elite wrestling in-ring contenders. And Cesaro, this, believe it or not, this is his first singles match at WrestleMania, and he delivered perfectly. I think WWE should look into it and give him more. Give him the spotlight. I think he will shine. They should give him the spotlight. Cesaro is a very elite contender, but Seth Rollins has never had a bad match at any WrestleMania ever. That guy is goated when it comes to WrestleMania moments, and he's a very good in-ring competitor as well. That match kick-started WrestleMania. It was a very good match. Then came Bad Bunny and Damian Priest and Mixer Morrison. Mixer Morrison came in with that bunny. People dressed as bunnies mocking Bad Bunny, but Bad Bunny's entrance was, I think, one of the best of all time. Came in with a track. He was on the track and he entered the arena with the track. And Bad Bunny being trained at the PC. I heard the training was done by Adam Pearce, Brian Kendrick, and Drew Gulak at the WWE Performance Center. And they did a very good work, Canadian Destroyers and all that. Look, that guy has really worked his ass off. He's a long time fan of wrestling and WWE. So I understand how he put in the work. He did really well putting in the work, and he stole the show. He stole the show. Twitter was going crazy about him and Pat McAfee being signed to WWE to compete and all that. I know it's all banter, but those two guys really did well. But big as to Bad Bunny, he worked his ass off, and that match was a banger. It wasn't supposed to be as good as it was. Nobody thought it was gonna be good as it was, but it was really good, and I love that that match. And finally on that night was the main event: Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Now, this match came after Bad Bunny, and Bad Bunny has stole the hearts of the wrestling world with all those moves, and it was still fresh in the mind of people. So you needed in-ring competition that would top that. Anything less, and the main event would have been meh. But all the same, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, they stole the show. The spotlight was on them, main eventing, and I think Becky Lynch main evented WrestleMania, but this one was different. They are the two. It's the first time two black females are competing at WrestleMania and main eventing. It has never happened in the history of WWE, never. So they really made history. When the match started, you could see that Bianca Belair was crying. She looked at Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks tried to hold her tears, but I mean, come on, we could see it on their faces that they knew that they were making history and they were happy for each other. The match went on for about 18, 19 minutes. It was a very good match. If you haven't watched it, watch that match. That match was very good. And Bianca Belair, as a good athlete as she was, she needed someone that could carry her, some of the experience that could carry her through the match. And I think Sasha Banks did a very wonderful job carrying Bianca Belair throughout the match. It was a very good match. You need to watch that match. They stole the spotlight. They really shine. Bianca Belair's song said we should watch her shine. She really shone on night one of WrestleMania. So that was night one of WrestleMania. For me, I don't think night two was up to the standard of night one. I think night one was way better than night two, if you ask me. Where do we start off? Let's start off from let me just start off and grade the matches. It started off from The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton, and Alexa Bliss came in, Randy Orton, The Fiend came in, and with all that dope graphics, he switched from the new band Fiend to the old Fiend attire that we know. Then he was fighting Randy Orton, and all of a sudden Alexa Bliss turned into a Sister Abigail with some gooey bloody stuff, black suit or tree stuff, I don't know if you classify as blood or something, or what you're trying to insinuate. But all of a sudden, it's he was sitting on this stuff that this box that the Fiend came out of during the beginning of the match, and that thing was shooting from was shooting from her head. There was some stuff on her head that this black stuff was shooting out of. Um, the fans loved it because they were shouting, "Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy bleep! Holy bleep! Holy bleep!" Sorry, and all of a sudden, Randy Orton won the match by the distraction of Alexa Bliss, and then the Fiend and Alexa Bliss vanished. The crowd wasn't happy about it. The crowd wasn't really happy about it. It was a very odd ending. It was a sudden ending. People thought it was gonna end the Fiend and Orton's storyline so that we can continue on with the Fiend. It would have made the Fiend. I think it would have been good storytelling if they ended it right there. But when they didn't end it, fans were pissed, and that's what made the match what it was. People start trash talking the match and all that. I'm gonna give that match a C minus. I see, because personally, I don't think that was a very good ending. I didn't like it, and I'm sure a lot of wrestling community guys did not really like it also. The women's tag team championship followed with Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Natalya, and Tamina. The match was actually good than I expected it to be. Um, I mean, Shayna Baszler and Natalia helped the match because they are the veterans. They are the veterans here. I mean, Nia is a veteran, Tamina is a veteran, but um, Shayna is not really a veteran. But why I say she helped the match is because among all four of these women, she's the one that really have that MMA background, wrestling background. Natalia also, I added there because she's experienced and she's the better wrestler among Nia Jax and Tamina. Those two help the match. Those two help the match. So I'm gonna give that match a C. I'm gonna give it a C. Wait, let me just give it a B minus. I'll just give that match a B minus because I thought it was okay. It wasn't that good, but it was okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna give that match a B minus. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn um, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn followed in a very spectacular match. I love that match. Those two, since NST, whenever they get into the ring, they are really good at it. They go at it very well. And uh, for some reason, when they added Logan Paul, who was a good guest of honor, surprisingly, it's they didn't really add him to the story that much, but they made him relevant but irrelevant at the same time. I like the storytelling there. Kevin Owens won, obviously. Sami Zayn, well, Kevin Owens won via pinfall, and Owens later delivered a stunner to Logan Paul, much to the love of the WWE universe, and it was a very good match. I'm gonna give this match a B plus because I think it's really sold. It's really sold. It kickstarted the best of the nights of night two. Then the United States Championship with Matt Riddle and Sheamus. Matt Riddle came into this match as the champion of as the United States champion, and well, Riddle is a very good wrestler, and the match has a lot of it had a lot of spots, a lot of memorable spots. One of it had a jackhammer from tribute to Goldberg, belly to belly suplexes, Pele kick, exploder suplex, senton. I mean, it had a lot of spots. It was a very good one, but the one that cut it off is a bro kick in the air when he tried to do the moonsaults. Riddle tried to do the moonsault of the rope, and Sheamus delivered the bro kick in mid-air, which busted Riddle open, and that led to Sheamus winning the United States title. I'm gonna give this match a B. It was a good match. If you had watched it, you see that it was a really good match. Then followed by the Intercontinental Championship. new gimmick given Nigerian drum fight. Apollo Cruz, who called that fight the Nigerian drum fight because of his new gimmick he was given as his from Nigerian royalty and all that. It was look, this match was perfect. The storytelling was perfect. Apollo Cruz and Big E did a very good job here, and I think they need to be commended for this storytelling. They need to be commended for this angry action, which had a lot of spots and no disqualification, I think, um, which led to the match being cut short by Daba Kato, who was dressed as a militia. I'm sure the story was all about him being part of this Nigerian royalty staff who was supposed to be by the side of Apollo no matter what. So Biggie has a lot to do if this is the storyline they are going. Um, um, it was a very good match, as I said. Double Kato didn't spoil the match. His running didn't spoil the match. It didn't take away from the storytelling. It's rather added to the storytelling. I'm gonna give this one an A. I'm gonna give it an A. Then we move to Oscar versus Rhea Ripley. Oscar versus Rhea Ripley. It was a very good match. I mean, this is the first time they actually. This is the first time they actually. I think competing in the ring, both Asuka and Rhea Ripley. This is the first time they are facing each other, and I would say the match was good. The women's championship matches was good on the night. I'm gonna give this one a B plus. I'm gonna give it a B plus. Reason behind this is because I think it's the first. I didn't give them an A because I think it's the first time they met, and both of them failed to tell the story and made it memorable, like how Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair made their match very memorable. I mean, the first black women to face in a championship in the WWE. Then the last match we're going to talk about is Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan. It's not one of, it's the best match of the night. It's up there with Double Kato and Big E and anyway, Apollo Crews. But all the same, Roman Reigns has proven that he's the top guy in the business. He is the top guy in the business. He came in the ring with main event Jey Uso and main event Jey Uso, and when they came into the ring, I mean, the storytelling was perfect. We had spears for spear. Roman and Edge hit each other with a spear at the same time. Counter upon counter, beating each other with putting each other in their submissive maneuvers, and putting each other on tables and hitting them on the steel steps and all that. The match was really good, and the storytelling behind this was top notch. Look, it's no surprise I'm giving this match a grade A. I don't know about you, but I think this match really deserves a grade A. It was one of the best matches of the whole entire WrestleMania weekend. It's up there with Tommaso Ciampa and Waters match. Tommaso Ciampa and Waters match, to me, was among the very best. So I'm gonna grade out of the three matches. Three matches I'll take away from WrestleMania weekend: Tommaso Ciampa and Walter, Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns, and then Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. These are the three matches I'll take away and give it a complete A. A as in storytelling and all that. I mean, how memorable it was, etc., etc. That's why I'm gonna give these three matches an A. You can comment in the comment section and tell us what you think. If you think there are some other matches that deserve an A or not. And so that's the WrestleMania. That's the WrestleMania review. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Twitter at GH Source Code. Subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell so that you can receive any notification when there are updates or any other videos from this channel.